All right. So maybe just a little bit of an intro, what we wanted to do here. Okay. So we actually, since we're inviting you to Slovenia for this forest party, we wanted to introduce you to our audience a bit more. Do like a short interview, talk about you guys, basically about how did you begin, and what is 60 feet deep all about. Yeah, based on that, then we can do like short clips and post them on our social media. Maybe if the interview goes well and everything, maybe just publish the whole thing. But yeah, basically have like a cool chat about music, about you guys, and see where this is going. I think we have like 40 minutes before the free version of Zoom breaks us off. So let's try to squeeze it in there. But yeah, if anybody wants to, like, I have a couple of questions prepared, but I want this to be like a natural conversation. If everybody wants to share something, or if has like questions of their own, just shoot, and let's have like a proper conversation.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So maybe let's start with the obvious one. Like, what is 60 feet deep? How did you guys begin? Like, how did it start?
Yeah, you want me to go first then, Tom?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so basically, myself and Thomas, we met in a warehouse party in sort of northeast London, in Tottenham, around how many years ago? 8 years, was it?
Yeah, 8 years, man.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. It feels like only yesterday, but yeah, we met in a warehouse, and we played a back-to-back session, and we decided that we'd just start, it went well, and we decided, I liked Tom's productions, and he liked what I was getting into too, and I thought, right, we need to start something together. So we like the deep melodic sort of underground sound, and yeah, we kind of like decided to make a go of it. And then I sat down, and then I was just driving down the road one day, and I just came up with 60 feet deep. And it was originally meant to be like a brand of events as well, but London at the time was very hard to get something going in. And we had a whole deep ocean concept, sort of jellyfish visuals. And I came up with a logo, which is like, it's meant to be that, just like bringing deep music to the people, So that's how it all kind of began. And then it sort of grew from there, from our very first release. And then we worked on a lot of music during the pandemic that's going to be forthcoming in the coming months. So yeah, we're really excited about that. And yeah, anything else you want to add, Tom?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that, like, we had this like very tight group of friends going when we met. When I met Ash, we were kind of both part of the same group. We just didn't know each other yet, and everyone was kind of like into drum and bass, tech house, which we also enjoyed, but we always more loved like the deep kind of driving progressive side of things. So it was really nice to, meet Ash and be able to play a back-to-back set with someone that's got like, the same kind of vibe in their head for the same kind of music. Because now this type of music is becoming a bit more popular in London. Like, there's more melodic techno, more progressive house parties. But for a very long time, and especially when we met, it was all about, more tech house, like darker techno, which we also very much enjoy, but it's not what's really, what really gets us going, which is what Ash mentioned, the kind of dark melodic progressive vibes. So yeah, I guess we played that back-to-back set. I was working on some productions. Ash saw some potential in them. We got our first release on an American label. New York label, Tears Recordings. I don't think that label is around anymore though. And yeah, and then it kind of went from there, started producing together, playing more together, and yeah, and now we're working hard on the music, and we're gonna get some EPs released. So yeah.
Awesome. How did that first release look like? Like, how did you guys work on it together? Like, did you like meet in the studio, or did you send each other your ideas, or because like I imagine that now when you guys are working together for like 8 years, you're like well in tuned, you know what each one is bringing to the table, but like, how did those beginnings look like?
Do you want to go first, Tom?
Yeah, I don't mind. So basically, I had an idea going that wasn't really finished yet. And I remember one evening, that was in the warehouse. I was staying at the warehouse, and it's basically this warehouse where like 16 people lived. There were a lot of parties going on there, but also a lot of creatives working on music. So it was a cool place to be. And I played Ash the tune, and he really liked it. It was this kind of like, it was called Our Destruction, pretty like dark tune with some very like detuned Michael. Wait, whose vocals did I put in there? Do you remember whose vocals I put in there? I can't remember what it was. Some like very like detuned, modified, but pop song vocals. But basically, Ash likes the tune, and he had a few like ideas on what to change, what to adjust a little bit. And when we went back to the studio, we did it, and then we got it released later. Now when I listen back to it, it was our first release. I would like change a million things in the mix, but that's just the way I am. So yeah, but yeah, it was kind of bouncing ideas of each other. Quite often when one of us is working on something and we get stuck in a loop, then the other can come in with some fresh ears, with a fresh idea. We can, work on one project separately, because we kind of, we don't live that close to each other now, but then at the same time, we send each other that stuff, and, one will always add something to the other's project, and vice versa. So
yeah,
after these years, I think we've got a good synergy going.
Yeah,
There we go. Yeah,
for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think also, mate, I think it was very organic from the beginning as well, there was the one thing I remember there is that there was really no effort between us. It just kind of worked. Everything we did together, it just worked naturally. And that's a really special thing, because I've tried working, I'm sure Tom has as well. We've all tried working with people before, and it doesn't seem to work out very often. So when it does, and you do have that synergy between each other, I think it's a really unique opportunity to create something.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have like a style of, like when you have synergy when you're playing together, or like producing as well, do you feel like somebody has like a bit of a different style and the other one has a different style? I don't know, maybe one guy is going more into the dark stuff, and one of you is going more into the I don't know, uplifting things. Do you have like different styles that complement each other, or how do you see this?
Yeah, 100%. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But what the cool thing about it is that they're all like different styles within the kind of same vibe of what we think is good and what really gets people going and what gets us going. So yeah, we played a set in Croatia recently, and it was really fun because we were playing back to back with a third DJ as well. And basically, Ash and I were mostly, playing progressive tunes. Like, quite often it's like Ash likes to take it up and play like a more kind of melodic banger, and then I'll bring it back down to a bit more like a rolling and kind of, hypnotic groove, and we try to play around with that. And then when we played the set in Croatia, there was a third guy Tiske, and he basically was also playing like melodic techno. We were both going a bit more progressive, but it was very interesting because we were doing what I just mentioned, but with the third guy who was also like kind of bringing, different melodies and grooves. But yeah, it's very much, very often when we play with Ash, it's what I said. Yeah, we kind of like, Ash will bring it up with a melodic banger, and then I'll go a bit darker, a bit more groovy. So yeah, with not always, obviously there's exceptions, but yeah, what do you think, Ash?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good analogy. I think we just bounce off each other, right? It's good because it's a constant challenge, and it keeps you more creative on the fly. And I think that's what helps us play back to back. Sometimes we'll play for 2 for 2 or 1 for 1, sometimes 3 for 3, but it depends on how we plan the set. Some sets we like to be completely spontaneous, where we'll just go there with a folder of music each, and it always works out, right? We always end up doing a pretty good job in my eyes. The crowd like it, and it also keeps it interesting and more exciting for us too. So yeah.
Yeah, I like what I've said, that little there's that little element of like a challenge to it, because especially obviously when you plan a set out, you know what the other person is going to be playing. You've got like a certain order to a playlist. It's different, but when you just go with a folder of music, both of you, and you just decide on a certain vibe, but not any IDs or anything. There's always that little element of surprise, but it's good because you can quite often one of us will play a tune that the other one doesn't know at all, and it's like, and it's amazing, and you're just
yeah, for sure. When you're feeling the vibe of the other person's track and you haven't heard it yet, it's just like that element of surprise, and it triggers a creative spark that makes you think of something that you wouldn't have thought about as well. And I love that when we have this, like, these kind of like these moments where you know exactly what to play next, even though you've never heard the track that's coming in, and it's you can really create some unique mixes and things that come from outside of the box. So yeah.
Is there like so from the time,
maybe Jerry, can I maybe ask also something?
Yeah, sure.
So I was thinking actually in the last minutes to go back where you all started, so before you met, and how you came up with that kind of type of music. What was your spark or inspiration for that kind of melodic progressive? It was a DJ you heard, or what was your first contact with that type of music? Not so much in your environment, so that I'm really wondering about that.
Okay, who wants to go first?
You go first now, Ash.
Okay, so my mom was a raver. She grew up listening to Sasha. I grew up just not far away from where Sasha was raised. My mom was always playing his music, his records growing up. She used to go to the Hacienda, and I grew up on trance music, and then all of the old school UK sounds that come around, around the 90s and 2000s era. And and then that taste has just like developed more into the Anjuna Beats sound, because these are labels that have been around for a very long time. Obviously Sasha's Last Night on Earth, your John Digweed's, Carl Cox. These were all of my early influences, you like Nick Warren, Way Out West, Jody Wisternoff. All of those guys have been producing this kind of music for a long time, and that's kind of the sound I've been raised on ever since. And that's the way I got into it. And Tom will tell you something completely different to mine, because he grew up in Poland, unlike me.
Yeah. Well, basically, I didn't listen to electronic music when I was younger, almost at all. Like, I only started when I was, I think, 16, 17. Well, still when I was younger, but when I was, even younger, I was always into metal. I didn't really appreciate, electronic music that much. Used to be one of those guys that said that's not real music, when I was, listening to a lot of like rock and metal. But basically, then I got into drum and bass, which I think for a lot of people that were in a similar situation as me, like listening to, more like bands and rock and metal type of stuff. Drum and bass is this kind of like transitional genre that then gets you into electronic music. And I had some time when I was listening to that. That's when I got interested in production. The first DHW I ever got to produce was Cubase. I was like trying to like mess around with like drum machines in there with some synthesizers, but nothing really serious. And then when I moved to London when I was about 19, and I had a cousin there that used to DJ. He was really into house, progressive house, and he had a studio. So I moved into his place, and he introduced me to everything, into, 4 to the floor type music, house, techno. When I discovered that, I kind of quickly stopped listening to drum and bass as much, because I just found my true love when it comes to music, So yeah, and then we met Ash. I was already producing. Ash was already producing a bit as well. We were both DJing at some small, at some friends' parties, some small venues or whatever. And then, we found each other. and that's how 60 Feet Deep came out.
That's cool. That's how the music connected you guys. Because I imagine if you wanted to play back to back, with somebody from a tech house, the sets would be just terrible. Like you wanted to play like progressive tunes, and then the guy would be put in tech house.
Yeah.
When you guys found each other playing the same type of genre, I think it's just like an instant connection, I guess.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what was I wanted to ask before, like you were talking about how sometimes during back-to-backs you like you just get into a certain vibe, like you can feel how you're bouncing off each other, and you can just continue the flow and just lifting the energies up. Is there like a moment you guys have in mind that was like a special moment for you guys when you were playing together?
There's been a few, I'd say. I'd say the one that highlighted the most was probably in Croatia, right?
Yeah.
It was just because we were around a special group of friends who were all connected musically too,
There definitely was a moment in Croatia, because we literally, like, I remember we exchanged a few words behind the decks, me and Ash, when, like, someone played a really good track that really makes one to the previous one, and we went on a roll where we like both were really feeling it, and we were talking about exactly the same thing, like what I was saying earlier as well with the third DJ that was playing. Like Ash was saying, like, oh yeah, I'm doing it this way, and then you're bringing it down a bit, and then he's bringing it up again, and it's working so well. Yeah. That was it was one of those moments for sure. And yeah, some of the warehouse parties we played at, we had some really good vibes as well. Yeah, we usually, like, when there's a moment like that, we just like tell each other, like, this is sick, or whatever, like this is going well, or like, so yeah, that's how we remember it later as well.
Can you guys maybe talk a little bit more about what you're doing in Croatia? Because I know the background, and it's really similar to what we're doing with Sinergia. And I know there's like Jacob from Slovakia is also involved, and maybe you can just share the story about that. I think it's pretty cool how other crews in Europe, like smaller crews, create this intimate festivals or intimate parties.
Ash, that's for you.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I went to live in Slovakia for a while because, as a job, I work in construction as an engineer sometimes, so I took a contract role in Slovakia. I met a really nice guy called Jacob, and he owns a club in a small city called Nitra, and he was always booking artists that are, like from all over the world, to bring them to, he wanted to build an electronic music community in his city. And I started playing in his club, and then we went on to get bookings, numerous bookings through him for any events that he was doing in Slovakia. And then he invited us out to play in Croatia this year. They're starting a new, it's a new beach club. So, and then this year he invited a small group of people who are all connected within the industry. We got to meet.
Sorry, it's in Ugljan, right?
Yeah, Ugljan. Yeah.
The people in Slovenia know where Ugljan is, so they're
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So in Ugljan, and we started planning next year's events already. Everyone who met this year was like really super keen to bring all their friends back next year. And there's just a really special vibe because it's an island, that's very, very quiet and peaceful. And you can kind of go paddle boarding, you can hire kayaks, hire pedal boats, relax during the day, drink some nice juices, be healthy, and then, party the night away. But it's a perfect place for that, It's because it's only a 10-minute boat ride to Zadar. So, if you want to go into a city, you can, but then you're back to your island lifestyle, and I don't know about you, but that's the kind of place I like to holiday,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we could add that, like, the vibe of the party that Jacob organizes, like he it's like a Balearic kind of a bit Burning Man-y type of vibe, in a way. When it comes to the music, it's all a bit slower, like chuggy, kind of groovy and organic sounding stuff. So perfect, you know, for that kind of setting. You know, he combined it as well with yoga sessions. There were people there, yoga instructors, there were personal trainers. So during the day, there were like 2 sessions for like a workout, 2 yoga sessions. You could go and do that if you wanted to. The kind of theme of this event was trying to like combine, you know, a peaceful kind of nature place and kind of self-care with amazing music and
yeah, even better, amazing people, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
So I guess how I hear it, it's more holistic way of have a whole experience, not just partying and not just night activities, but also acting, connecting people through different activities, yoga,
sure.
and to also learn something from it. I
Yeah.
really also like that kind of way to doing festivals. We are also with Jared now looking for festivals and also visiting them to see what kind of stuff they're offering, and actually would super like also to offer Sinergia, and we also other crews who are offering that have a lot of success because the people look kind of this whole experience, not just partying, because
for
it's
sure.
going on, and it's super important to offer a little bit more than just a party, and I really like what you're doing and in which way you're going. Anyway, what is your actually roadmap for this festival? Kind of size, kind of what you want to offer long term? Do you have any plans, or you want to go with the flow?
I think that's probably more of a question for Jacob himself, because he actually works for the resort as like he's a DJ, and he's also because he owns a nightclub. He kind of works in partnership with this resort, booking all of their sort of music activities. So,
sorry, but Jacob is also coming to the party, right? On the
yeah, Jacob is coming.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
He's coming. So you can talk to him about that more in detail. But I mean, for us, we work alongside Jacob. We bring a crew of people, and you know, it's more about for us. We get booked to play there. It's his baby, if you like. You know, he's the one who sort of manages that side of things. But I think moving forward, in the next few years, there'll be a huge beach club opening there with a pool, and you know, they're trying to go for a certain vibe, which is, you know, similar to sort of the big Mykonos venues and Ibiza sort of beach club vibes, you know. But obviously minus
a little bit less VIP, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. More, but you know, there's not all VIP in Ibiza and Mykonos, you know. It's not all like this. There's the cool places too.
Uglian style.
Yeah, Uglian style, exactly.
But Uglian style.
Yeah. It's going to be its own thing, of course, you know. It's in Uglian.
But you guys like playing from like warehouses, you know, to places like this. What do you guys prefer most? I mean, obviously you talked about how you like the whole setup and everything in Uglian, but I don't know, when you play back to back or when you prepare for a set and something, you know, how do you feel as artists? How do you feel the vibe changes?
Well, I mean, for a forest party, we're definitely planning something which we're going to meet. And so myself and Tom are meeting this weekend. He's coming up to my place in Chester, and we're going to plan something special for it. So watch this space.
So the forest, maybe just like an intro, because we haven't talked about the forest party yet, but on the 19th of August, we're making this this private party in the forest close to Ljubljana, and Ash and Tom are coming as the headliners for the party. The crew is preparing everything. We're there preparing everything, promoting it. And it's gonna be a really nice party for sure. So we're expecting about 200 to 250 people, and so to everybody listening to this, there's still invites available. You just got to text us maybe on Instagram or go to our website sinergia.si, and we'll get you there. But yeah, Tom, you were trying to say something.
Was I?
Yeah, I was talking about how you guys are like preparing for like different setups, you know, like
Yeah, of course.
parties.
That
No,
was an
no.
advertisement between the podcasts. So.
Yeah, it was.
No people to skip the advertisement. So, yeah.
No, it's all good. Yeah, no, it's what I said. Basically, you know, like it depends on where we're playing, what kind of party, but sometimes it's more like we said earlier, we just both have a folder of music with the same similar vibe, and we go and we just do our thing and without preparing really anything. And when it's something more special, you know, we kind of go and kind of go a bit deeper into what we want to play, a bit more granular. But yeah, it's, you know, when we played in Croatia, it was for a smaller crowd. It was outside. You know, you could turn around and you could see the sea. It was a totally different vibe from, you know, playing in like a, I don't know, small, intimate, sweaty club or something. You know, and both different experiences, both very, you know, very special in their own sense. But there is something about, you know, just being like
Open air.
Open air, but I was about to say being close to people, you know, in a closed room, in a closed dark room, close to people, and, you know, kind of get that intimacy going in a sense, in a way. We actually went to a really cool party. Roy Rosenfeld was playing Township Rebellion in E1 in London a week ago, and the room that they used for the party basically had a set of decks which were on like this pedestal, you know, high up on the stage. And the organizer basically decided that he's not going to use that. He turned it into like a VIP area, which wasn't VIP in the end. Everyone could go there. And he put the decks down, like in, you know, downstairs in the room, like almost kind of in the middle.
On the floor, yeah.
On the floor, you know. And he was like, and I spoke to him about it. And I was like, why aren't you using this booth up there? And he was like, because I want the DJ to be like with the people down there, you know. And yeah, I mean, all the DJs that were playing there, like I could see they fucking loved it. They were enjoying themselves. Like they loved it. It was really, really good. So yeah, I think it makes a big difference when you're kind of, you know, close with the crowd.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
But it all depends. Every setting depends.
I agree too. I think it's like I just came from a festival, you know, and the DJ was like 10 meters away from the crowd, and he was like on a pedestal up high, you know, and it's I don't know, it just feels so disconnected with the crowd.
Yeah, it's almost disengaging as well, because you want to be close to people and feel their energy, right, and feed off that. And it's like, you know, everyone can sort of dance around together. I love that, you know.
Yeah, and you know, from what I see, you know, from like other festivals and parties, like this concept of having a DJ in the middle of the crowd, and, you know, having the crowd like almost like the same amount of people behind the DJ as in front of the DJ. Sometimes it just creates this different type of a vibe, you know. It's like everybody's interacting with each other, looking at each other through the room, and it's just it feels like the energy is just a lot higher, a lot bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I really like it when, and some people were doing that at this party as well, like when everyone isn't facing the same direction, if you know what I mean. When people are dancing, not everyone is facing the DJ, but when people are actually, you know, looking in different directions, kind of
facing each other as well, you know, dancing with each other, not just focusing on the, you know, it's the music that's connecting people and the people at the party.
I actually also see that a lot in which kind I was observing the last parties I went, and I see also the difference about type of music, or if the people are just staring at the DJ or just in their own world, or actually connected to each other and make this circle of actually group of who are dancing. And it's just kind of interesting. Also in one set it was different kind of music and it almost changed. So I find it super like I saw it in Junadeep. We were some couple of people who are break the ice of acting to the crowd, and then it's changed, like the vibe changed, so you're actually sending the energy to the crowd back.
For
it's a way different party in the end.
Agreed.
And I feel like, so me and Manuel are talking a lot about the concept of parties here in Slovenia, because we feel like during the pandemic, a lot of like private parties started to emerge, and just like some small crews all over Slovenia started to organize small parties that eventually got a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is how Sinergia started as well. And just talking to the people that go to these type of parties, not just our parties, but like to all of the different organizers in Slovenia right now, everybody's saying like, why would you go to bigger parties, to like this big, huge events with several thousands of people, well, okay, in Slovenia, first, we don't have many events like this, but like even outside of Slovenia, why would you go to there if you can connect with people intimately, in this intimate settings a lot more. So what do you guys like? How's the scene in UK right now? How do you guys see this? Is it something similar happening there, or is the scene even more developed? Was this happening before as well?
Well, Jesus, that's a heavy question, because London is like, it's a powerhouse of nightclubs and nightlife, as you probably know. It's probably got, it's there in Berlin that has the most nightclubs in the world. So I mean, London, it's a very strange place. You can go out to the same venue one night and it will be terrible, and then go to the same venue another night and you'll have the best night of your life. So I think it really depends on the promoter and the crowd they bring more than anything, because people tend to be quite loyal to whatever that's the crowd, the vibe, the music that they're into. And I know last time we were at a certain club, I'm not going to mention the name, we had a terrible night the next time we went, and it was a great night. So it's not always the venue, it's always the people as well, which make the venue very special, and the energy. I mean, Printworks is one of them. It's like I went there once with me and Tom have been there a couple of times, and down on the main floor, it was just too busy, long and narrow, and you don't get the same experience as what you do when you're in an intimate venue where you've got room to dance. It's just. And
yeah, I think so in London, when it comes to the clubs, they're quite often overcrowded, but the crowd is the most important thing, obviously, like for every party. But here it's like, in order for you as a smaller events organizer to try and get in there, you already really have to have an established following, an established fan base. You need to be able to bring a good crowd.
It's a numbers game in London.
It's a bit of a numbers game, but not everything, because London is such a big city. There's so much going on here. There's
a lot of
there's a great illegal scene which is quite known for sometimes it's hit and miss, but most of the time they organize pretty good parties, like in the forests around there. They're known cleaning up after their parties, like even the police comes there and sometimes they party with them. So there's that side of things. But yeah, I agree, like it's the smaller intimate clubs. Like we used to go to this club, Ash, in North London, I think in Islington, called The Nest. Do you remember that?
No, that's in Dalston.
Oh, that's in Dalston. Sorry.
Yeah, the Dalston was just an underground room with 300 people, and we got
but it was amazing. I had such a good time in that place.
We got to see a lot of Anjuna Deep DJs in there, like Eli and Fur, and who else did you see?
Theo Cottes.
Yeah, Theo Cottes. And that was just, it was a dark room with one red flashing light, and it was just a proper bunker club, and it was like 200-300 people in there. And it was vibes, right? We never had a bad night in that venue.
Yeah, but for making connections and like meeting people and like amazing people from all over the world, I mean, London is the place to be honest. I think it's the place to be. Yeah.
Well, then we're just gonna take you for a couple of days to Slovenia, and then you guys can go back to that place.
So, Jerry, we need to book some flights.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we have like 3 minutes left. I see. So maybe just like to finish it off, what are you guys preparing for us for the 19th?
Well, I mean, I have already been digging for some music, and I'm really excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty both dark and uplifting and groovy and rolling. I think it's going to be. I know too much work. It's going to be a journey.
It's going to be a journey set. Yeah, we've already been bouncing some ideas off each other, and we're both happy with the direction we want to take it in. I don't want to reveal too much because I want to get you guys excited for what we're planning. But yeah, we're planning something special, so hold tight.
And we have
expect some melodic groovy beats that'll
yeah.
get you going.
It's like we are used to go through that yin and yang, so the dark and also the light in the party. So it's a whole spectrum of dimension.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I like that.
a journey.
Sure.
It's a journey.
That's it. Exactly.
And we're gonna have like a special surprise back to back after it.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Which is, I'm not sure if it's gonna be planned at all. So
No.
the best thing ever. We'll see.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for your time. Thank you for this. This was cool.
So good.
I feel like we could be talking for another 40 minutes. No problem.
Yeah, same. Well, thanks for having us. We're really looking forward to this. And yeah, can't wait to dance together.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. All right. Take care.
Okay, cheers, guys.
Care.
It will be
Cheers, ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.